What up, peoples? What's going on? It's your boy Gene here, and I'm here with my boys. We got Benji, we got Randy, we got Rel, we got Darnell. We're here to talk about it. So we're going to talk about why friendships last, why they don't last, what makes them last, or perhaps what makes them end sooner than, or maybe like sometimes you feel like they have to end. Maybe it's for the better. Maybe all friendships aren't longevity. So let's talk about it. So. We all been friends for quite a while at this table. So we're going to talk about what do you think is the number one thing that make friendships don't last in your eyes? Rel, you seem like you don't
try to fuck your friends. Like that's the number one thing in the gay culture.
Right.
Don't fuck your friends. I had friends who I've been with 15 plus years and never. Like people have asked and it's just like no.
Yeah. Don't fuck your friend.
That would ruin it for me if they even asked.
Right. No, not our friend, not the friends. Like other people.
We'd
be like, oh, you're with your homie. Oh, how did you get them? Like, no, we don't.
Yes, I'm getting that.
Like,
that too.
Don't even do that. Like,
wait,
yeah.
what?
It's like
like when people ask, do you and your friend get down like that?
No, right. Or be like, like, how about you and your friend do this, that, and third? I'm like,
we speaking Canadian?
So we're speaking of what is the number one thing? What is the number one reason why we think, or you individually think, friendships don't last?
I think
within our community specifically.
In the gay community.
Yeah.
I would say
Black gay community.
communication and understanding, like, together. So if I say something to you and you respond back to me and I don't like your response or I feel as though that you didn't hear me, then we're gonna have some type of breakdown.
Okay, so as friends,
like
communication and what was it? Understanding. Okay, so
communication, understanding, that kind of ties into jealousy as well, because some people are not your friend. Like,
that's the reason why it don't work, right?
Right, they're jealous of like what you're doing, your parents, what you have, whatever. Like when you have somebody that you genuinely care about, non-judgmental, like non-threatening, then that's when longevity comes.
Right. I feel like a reason why they don't last is maybe for lack of communication, or 9 times out of 10, I feel like they don't last is because there's always an outside influence. Like when they don't last, it's really not between the two friends, but it's always something that comes in between the two friends. And like, that's what I believe.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm guilty of that, letting a relationship or a significant other get in the way of your friends because a significant other may be feel threatened by the friendship in some type of way.
Right.
I'm guilty. But once again, true friends actually never held that against me. Though.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, when we came back,
even if it did get in the way.
It was like we never skipped a beat. Where it was like,
Exactly. True friends don't let that get in the way.
That's true.
Exactly where you let off. But once again, I do take my responsibility or my part of that. Whereas I shouldn't have let it get to that point. But once again,
But I feel like in those type of situations, usually I think insecurities in real friendships.
They do.
Like whether it's like how they feel about themselves or if they're in a relationship. Like I said, like I've had a friend who's in a relationship and their sole priority is their boyfriend. And I don't think your boyfriend should mingle in with our friendship. One thing don't have to do with the other.
Right.
So if I ask you, let's go see a movie or something, your response to me should never be, well, let me see if my boyfriend can come. Right. I don't care about him.
Let me see what my boyfriend Right.
That's a bitch much. That goes into you being codependent.
You gotta be balanced.
Exactly. I'm not saying, don't nurture your relationship, but you also, a friendship is a relationship also.
It
you have to
is.
nurture that too.
I'll say this, it's different. You gotta hear what I'm trying to say when
I'm trying
It is different. You know why?
No, I'm saying
because when we met each other, we didn't have social media to call somebody out on Facebook.
We didn't do
Instagram.
all that. It was like
I never call people out on social media.
No, I don't either.
I call them out in a text or a call.
I speak how I feel about my feelings, not so much talking about that person in general. I'll say how I'm feeling. And I don't need to tag or say, oh, this person did this, this person did that. I'm saying how I'm feeling. And how I'm feeling, if it offends you, just like they say to this day, it's something that if I randomly post something now, and you get in your feelings, and I didn't direct it to nobody, then you're guilty of why you're feeling that way. I'm not pointing it to you.
But that's kind of, that's kind of passive aggressive.
But that's insecurity.
It's passive aggressive.
That's them being insecure, but that's not only them being insecure, that's you being passive aggressive. Because if you're posting something and the person knows that you're talking about them, but you're being indirect.
But then 9 times out of 10, I probably already had that conversation with you.
Then why post it on social media?
Hold on, wait, because that's how I'm still feeling. If you get mad about it, that's your personal.
No, that's looking for attention.
That becomes personal.
That's looking for attention.
No, not really.
It is. You already had a conversation with your friend.
That's looking for attention.
And you're already in the squash that, then you post it, you're creating even more of a division.
If you post anything, that's looking for attention.
That's looking for attention, not only, and you're throwing your friendship basically out the window because if y'all didn't already had the discussion, why bring it up on social media for everybody to have an opinion?
Since we're talking about the lifestyle, that's basically what happens in this lifestyle.
No, it's not with everybody. I don't do that.
I didn't say with everybody. I said that's what happens in this lifestyle.
It does with messy bitches.
That's what happens in this lifestyle.
But it also happens in the straight community. I see straight girls do it all the time.
I've never do anything messy when it comes to friendships. When it comes to outside people, it's like I don't really care about it.
Well, that also depends on how long you had a friendship. Because sometimes you've been friends with somebody to where y'all been friends before y'all witness each other growing.
Sometimes with my closer friends, there are things that I don't want to mention, and I will post something subliminally.
Right.
But when it's never an issue between us. It might be an outside opinion as far as that you or gang.
And I think that's what I was trying to. I think that's what I was trying to say.
So it was like, oh, I'll post something it'll be a meme, take time to be yourself first, as opposed to I'm not coming directly at them. I'm like, I'm just putting this out.
And that's what I was
like. There's a new way because in this day and age there's a new way or there's a simpler way of delivering a message, or let me not even say simpler, but a safer. It's a safer way.
No,
it's a safer way without feeling like you're going to offend your friend.
No, because I had this conversation. You should not be offended if I had this conversation.
Yes, I would feel offended.
Because at the end of the day, it might not just be you. At the end of the day, it might be other people.
If you post directly an hour or two after we had a conversation, it's about me.
Benji, check this out. You're not the only friend.
I'm a firm believer.
But you're not the only friend.
You and your friend.
You're not the only friend. But you're not the only friend that person has.
All right.
So if they couldn't get through to the other people, but got through to you, it does not mean it pertains to you.
Everything is on social media.
Hold up. Let's start from, because I like what we're talking about because it's about friendships. So let's talk about.
Is it recording?
It's still recording. All right, so we're talking about friendship. What kind of things end friendships? Why do friendships end, specifically within our community? So
they tapped on it, jealousy or insecurity.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but that's mainly what hits in a lot of gay friendships.
Why do you think jealousy is a thing, though?
Because bitches ain't happy with what they got.
No, that's not jealousy.
That's jealousy.
I feel like that's fake friendship.
I think that's insecurity. When you're not happy with what you got,
that's insecurity and that's fake friendship. But when it comes to genuine friendships, jealousy is not even a factor.
It isn't.
It might be kind of corny or cliche, but it kind of takes the sitcom role. Everybody has their role. Just like if you take Golden Girls, you have the stable one, you got the funny one, you got the dumb one, you got the slut. Everybody has their role. It's not right. Everybody has their role, and when you find that perfect orbit, you're fine.
Because they all and I'm not.
It's all about loyalty to me. If you ain't loyal, and I know you ain't loyal, bitch, you can stay 40 feet away.
Tauruses are a loyal sign. It's we are loyal.
You claim loyal. That does not mean that you are loyal.
If we claim it as a fact.
No.
Okay, Randy.
Christopher Columbus claimed America, and he literally stole it. So we're not gonna go there.
All right, Randy.
So I feel like I said, is a thing about communication.
Do you communicate?
I'm a sip.
I try my best.
All sip to that. Lubricate.
But listen, I don't take offense though
when you don't communicate.
No, not when
you get called out on it.
Well, when I get called out on it, because I know that's something I need to work on.
Mm-hmm. As long as you know you got to work on it.
So it's not no problem with me. So it's
of course not for you. You're not the person that's not being communicated with.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if I'm being called out, I'm not going to take offense to it because I know that's something I'm working on. So it's you know.
But communication to you is important. Hold on. Wait. Because I'm curious.
A person like that's
working on them. But I'm curious because he said communication is important, but it's also something that he's working on. So it's just like how.
Because listen,
how important is it
to you?
Yeah,
it's important to me, but I could go through something and then like be in my own little world for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And be my own little world, and then be like, oh, I forget. But it'll be like a person. I'll be like, damn, I don't wish you happy birthday, but you mad because I didn't see you in like 2 weeks. So it's like I'm trying to sometimes I say it's about understanding as well.
Exactly.
Because you got to understand what a person wants from you, and you know what I'm saying. Because people kind of sometimes love you based on what they expect out of you. So
I definitely feel like it comes down to an understanding of who your friend is. If you don't take the time out to learn who your friend is, then you're not really friends. You have to learn who your friend is. You have to be interested in your friend, like into learning who they are as a person.
Understand them.
Like, because honestly, it does come down to that. Because it does come down to know, like, oh, I know exactly how such and such would react in this situation.
Yeah.
Because in order to consider somebody a friend, I feel like you have to know them.
It's almost like an outside sibling. You're going to know how they're going to react. You're going to know if they're like feeling some kind of way. You're going to know, oh, this is definitely something they're not going to like. So
versus,
they're not going to do that.
You have to be interested enough in a person to consider them a friend, to know them.
But then you also have to find a balance in the fact that, okay, you have to find a balance where it's though, okay, you know this person, they're your friend or whatever, and they got all these issues and all this other shit going on, but at the same time, you yourself have certain standards of what you will and will not tolerate from a person.
Right.
So then it comes to the thing, well, do you want this friend to stay around with their bullshit for so long?
I'm going to ask you this.
You can't call them a friend if that's what you're saying.
I'm going to ask
you can call somebody a friend, and they might got some shit with them, shit that they can't control.
Now you said
as a friend, I'm accepting you for who you are, but there becomes a certain point where as though you're thinking about either your standards of how you deal with things and what type of people you want in your life.
Now
what type of bullshit you're willing to deal with.
Exactly.
Like, if you know that your one friend is not punctual or not a texter or not good with answering phones.
That's just who they are.
We grew up with some of our parents and aunts and uncles who had crackhead friends and all that stuff. So it's like
their standards were low.
No. I'm just saying like this. It doesn't sound.
We all come from different backgrounds.
It doesn't come to what a person is or how a person is. It comes to how a person treats you.
Yeah.
Like, so it don't matter whether if they're a crackhead, whether they're a multi-million-dollar person. If they treat you the way that you want to be treated as a friend, then you would consider them a friend. Like, and it comes down to that.